So this snapshot around automating and creating secure and scalable AI deployments on Azure using HashiCorp. So despite the immense hype and potential that resources like machine learning, deep learning, generative AI and the umbrella of artificial intelligence is creating in the market, a staggering 80% of AI projects in organizations, according to RAND, fail. And Gartner also supports this when they see only 30% of AI projects are moving past the initial pilot stage. So why is this? Well, AI is complex. It covers a wide variety of different components. So you have infrastructure, data, and security. You have the challenge of having organizations having to coordinate net new elements around this and then stand up an environment that may be new to the organizations that are owning these technologies. And so what we have seen is that automation is becoming key to building these cloud foundations, and HashiCorp allows you to leverage things like our HCP Terraform, our HCP Vault, and also our HCP Secrets, which we will go through in this presentation and look at how this helps you enable both to encrypt, allows for secrets to be easily accessible and removed from your code, and allow for those tools to be automated within a workflow to stand up these complex environments. One of the key elements that we will be dealing with is the new security challenge. And this is around how you can trust the data that is put into your AI model, given that the AI model and the assistant is there to try and help actually provide an answer for you. So even if they have the right permission set, even if the data is contextually and tagged correctly, that AI assistant is going to try and give you an answer, and that answer may not be necessarily the information that you were expecting. And so how can you make sure and get this trust built in? There's also the other elements where organizations are now specifically targeting both RAG and agent-based security. And so they are now looking at things like prompt injection, model poisoning, creating vulnerabilities, and specifically taking advantage of weak identity controls, trying to use and misdirect using DNS spoofing to actually trick agents into using improper connection points. And then within RAG, you also have that element of knowing which private data is being exposed, model tampering, which again leading to misleading data being presented to users and then giving inaccurate or hallucinogenic results. This is also taken again looking at where data sets haven't been given the right permissions, or exposing, or if they have been given the right credentials, they are exposing personal and PII information unnecessarily. And so within that construct, we are now going to go into our demonstration, and our demo will walk you through how we practically approach this using our HCP platform as a mechanism to solve this challenge. Let's take a practical look at some of those challenges that we described. So our code here has built up. This is the code that we've used to deploy our application. And so let's start at the application end and work back. So one of the challenges that we talked about was obviously how can we secure and make sure that credentials and PII information isn't leaked out. So if we take a look here, we're just going to upload into our RAG architecture a random file. This file happens to be part of our overall company infrastructure, and we can start to ask some relevant questions. So this gives our AI some relevant information, and it can actually tailor and look at our information. So we have 1,000 employees made up. But what about if we try something to be a little bit dubious, or just by misadventure we say show me the So we're going to try and find our client's secret. So what do we get now? So now what happens is our client secret is shown, but it's actually been encrypted by Vault. And so what this is doing is we are actually passing to our Vault. This is Vault dedicated in HCP. And in here we are using our transit engine within Vault dedicated to then pass through any information through that orders link and encrypt it. And so we are using a particular encryption level. So we're using AES 256 here and actually encrypting those constructs with that. Now, because we're going through this engine, we could also decrypt that information if it was of relevance to us. Now, in the context of our code, how do we get to there? And so one of the things that we'll do as we look through our code, obviously within our application needs to ingest those information. And so by doing this, we're actually doing it by loading our environment variables. So here we can see that we're using our code to say load.environment variables. And in this, we're passing a whole bunch of environment variables that we're then using to consume within that code that we just looked at. So our Vault URL, our Vault token, obviously this is something that is of highly secure nature, and obviously our workspace that we want to go in. So we've passed that through. This is the pattern that we've used to pattern match that. And then we also pass in our Azure OpenAI keys and any information that we need for our client to then actually consume that. And so if we look at that from a client's perspective, if we say describe our pod, you can see that we've described our pod here. It's pulled down the image, tells us some information. And in here, you can see that we have passed through those details. So we have our Vault token that we've used to authenticate to our Vault dedicated instance as we pass that information out to it. Plus any of the other information that we needed, that we wanted securely passed into our environment variable. And this is now running within our Streamlit application. And so this information has now been passed as part of our build. Remember, this is all Terraform. So as we do a plan and apply, it stood up our application. It passed that information into our environment variables, and our pod that is running within our Kubernetes, AKS cluster as Kubernetes, we're standing up and running in that environment now. So the actual Ubuntu box that has been stood up has this on its environment variables. So if we logged into that and did a export, you'd see those environment variables. And so the code here has then passed that through. So how have we got this code into those environment variables? So as we're defining our pod, this code, which is we're using our resource provider of our Kubernetes provider, we are creating our resources and our count and our pod. And within our pod definition, we're now standing up our container with our Ubuntu version, and we're defining our environment variables. You can see that we're actually using a data source. So we're actually within our code referencing a data source where we're pulling information. Now, this data source is actually referencing a HCP Vault secrets. So within the HCP toolset, you have Vault dedicated, but you also have a new product that we launched recently around HCP Vault secrets. And this is our Vault secrets construct. Within this, it's an easy way to obviously store just environment variables or secrets that you want to use. You can also use auto rotation and dynamic secrets within this construct. And you don't have to have the difficulty of setting up a Vault dedicated element. It's all done for you and is managed as an environment variable. And here you can see our secret for our app is a string that we use to access our Vault dedicated element. So we're keeping that secret out of our code and we're using it as a data source. And so our data source here, we can reference as a provider. So we set up our provider to access our HCP element and use code. So we're using data as our Vault, as our HCP secret, our name and the actual secret to reference and pull that into our code. And so the way that that then shows up is that in our connection, our Vault secret is populated with that construct as an environment variable. So just to go through that, this is the data that we're remotely pulling out of our Vault secrets. That Vault secret is in a data source. The data source is referenced within our app code. Our app code is here. that builds it as an environment variable as we stand up that environment, as we stand up that pod. So it builds the environment variable. The environment variable then ultimately injects that token to be used by our application, which is referencing that element. And so that takes obviously one set of secrets out of our code. The other set obviously is, well, how do we get and access that Vault Secrets provider, which needs its own tokens to be accessed. So obviously we need a client secret and a client ID to be able to access that provider. And this is done with a great way of leveraging our workspace. So in the first one of these snapshots, we talked about creating a dynamic workspace, setting up that federation, allowing the workspace to run within that construct. Here, you can see this is our workspace. It's linked to our code and our repository. And within this environment, what we've done is we've created our subscription IDs, we've created our automatic tenant and our constructs to run the environment. So this is our Azure environment that will run and create tokens automatically to define that as per the dynamic provider. So if you want to go and see that, follow the link. But to obfuscate that information away and again out of our code, so we're not committing that into our repository, we've created a variable set that has a client ID and a client secret. This is specifically for accessing our HCP secrets construct and is a variable set that can be used either specifically for this environment or can be even wider and for a project or whatever construct you want. So now if we go over and have a look within our HCP secrets app, you can see that our application is actually defined here. If we go back to our dashboard, we can see that within the construct we have our access control, which is our IAM policies, and one of those elements within that is we've defined a HCP Terraform component, and this is using the secrets app reader element. So if we look into here, you can see that this is where we define that scope that we're talking about. So within the scope of our Terraform project, we're running within that scope. Anything within that scope can only use the services that we're defining, so access to maybe just the secret or the project, and they can only use, in this construct, a reader access level. So anything that is defined as on that variable set can only use the variable set that is defined, which only gives reader access. So this access on our HCP Terraform is obfuscated and hidden. And so there's no way of it being seen in our code. We're removing it from our code and it only has read access. So we're giving least amount of privileges within our code set. And this means that, again, we are extracting code secrets out of our code, allowing us to have a more generic code set that can be accessed by more people and shared, but still keeping minimum level of privileges for everyone to use, and addressing those challenges that we talked about in our earlier presentation. And so with all of these elements have come together to allow us to tie together how our as code approach can remove secrets from our code, allow it to be deployed within our application, and unlock those security elements of trust around data in our application and AI data sets. So there we saw a practical way of actually implementing and solving for those challenges. So we have now automation that allows us to build and repeatedly deploy environments. We have an as code approach that allows us to do that securely, and we have the ability to now share those environments across multiple users and consumers so that they can use the knowledge that we have created in a way that is easily consumable for themselves. And so thank you for joining us, and we hope to see you again in the next one of our exciting snapshots. Thank you.